Welcome back to Culture Trekking. Today I wanted to show you my top 3 hikes here in Salt Lake, from easy to very difficult. Starting off with Secret Lake and the Alta Wildflower Festival. Today I am up here in Alta, where yes, it is a popular skiing resort in the winter, but also a great place to come hiking in the summertime. It is July and it's like 73 degrees up here. The wildflowers are just coming out. You've got the water coming off from the mountains with little streams. It's just beautiful. Now this place does get really popular during the summertime, so I highly suggest that you either come right when it opens, the parking lots aren't even full, or in the afternoon after everybody has come up and done their hike and gone home. People often think that they have to come up here really early because it is super hot. It's so much cooler up here than it is in the summertime down in the valley. So really, as soon as they open, you can hike at any time of day up here. You just want to make sure that you have good sun cover, sunscreen, and water. So Secret Lake hike is less than a mile long. It's really great for kids and people who are trying to get better at hiking like me, especially with the altitude and being out of shape and doing a gym session this morning. I am just gonna go slow and enjoy this because I've been in the house way too long editing. Parking is around $10 to get in. It's just for the maintenance of the parking area, but I would also suggest bringing a hiking pole because they do have kind of wider streams that you need to cross, and this helps you keep your balance because the rocks can get pretty slick. So just a local hiking tip for y'all. It is so peaceful up here at this lake, and I think I made a really good decision, even though there's like a bunch of snow and ice on the lake, to just come up here, have a peaceful moment. There's not too many people, even though it's such a popular hike. And the thing is that I woke up this morning and I was grouchy and like I don't want to do anything and I'm the horrible person and life is just sad, and push myself to get out here, and I didn't think I would be able to do it, but I did, and I'm here and I'm just so proud of myself. So just goes to show that if you push yourself to do hard things, you expand your comfort zone. And now I'm gonna get all emotional now. Just really proud of myself. Morning. I've already been at it for about an hour, 45 minutes. Yeah, about an hour. Headed up Little Cottonwood Canyon to this is Bell's Canyon, to Bell's Falls Canyon. It is about a 5.5 mile hike out and back. It's kind of a loop trail. I would download all trails because people do end up getting lost. The steepest part is up near the falls, but you have this beautiful river in the back, or stream in the back, that you can get fresh water from. You cannot have dogs on this trail, but it's early morning, just after a rainstorm. It's so beautiful. I think you have about around 1,600 feet in elevation gain, and it is considered a moderate trail, but I hiked the first hour of this with my friend Charlie, who is amazing. and such a strong woman, and I'm sad you can't finish the hike with me. If you want to meet someone who has hardcore mental grit and toughness, she is your lady. This is what we're looking at with the trail. So it's a little bit overgrown, but it's a very popular trail. There's some boulders and stuff, but it hasn't been too bad as far as the steepness of it. Really beautiful views, and when you get to the lake, we went down to the lake to get a picture, overlook the lake, and in the spring, I guess, there's a bunch of baby ducks there. And people do this hike year round. But it is an avalanche area, so you just have to be careful. But yeah, when you get to the lake, you want to make sure to go to the left and stay like up on the walking path. If you go down to the lake and then try to make your way up the canyon, you can't do it, it's the wrong way. So for those fellow hikers that get lost easy. Oh man, it is so beautiful here. I love these hikes where you can just follow a stream up to a waterfall or a lake. It's like you get this big old payoff at the end. All these wild raspberries. Steep here. Lots of switchbacks. With my boss, Carla, and her son Peter, and her husband. He's an Alta ski instructor and a naturalist, so he's going to show us some flowers and trees and things. And this is the medic for me on the way up, and then Peter's my cheerleader. So don't go up by the bridge. It can be distracting, the waterfalls and such. There's actually a sign up here, and this is the trailhead for Lake Blanche. All right, what's this flower?
Monkey flower. The yellow monkey flower. There are pink ones as well.
So these white flowers right here, it's saying are world buckwheat. Penstemon.
5 stamen.
Huh.
And
So
You see the
pretty.
5 petals, the 2 on top and 3 on the bottom.
Yeah. So this is a mountain rose. So pretty. Moon.
Cow parsnip.
Cow parsnip?
Cow parsnip.
Oh. So these with the white flowers that look like bells almost. They're
globe mallow.
globe mallow.
That's a Richardson geranium.
Richardson geranium. So this one that kind of looks like a thistle on top.
Looks like a weed bud.
Yeah.
It'll be red flowers.
Red flowers
Red
when
flowers
it's
with like
blooming.
with a posterior stamen, and they'll look like. I mean, it's a mint family.
So this is
Nettle
nettle.
leaf horsemint.
Metal leaf horse mint.
And you can tell that by the smell more than, like, because the flower hasn't bloomed. It's easier to tell that. You can always tell a mint because, and I'm doing this for the sake of science, but it's a square stem. So if you roll it in your finger, you'll see that it's square.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Sweet vetch, and it has like, almost looks like a pea flower.
It is a pea flower.
It is a pea flower.
That's a pea.
So like to be pollinated, like the pollinator has to be big enough to actually open the flower up to expose the stall.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. It's great going on a hike with these guys because I feel like I have a personal guide. Showy goldeneye. It's so pretty. So here's the trailer we're going up. And right up here in the distance, you can see Sundial Peak, that pointy peak. That's right where Lake Blanche is. So although I'm sweating up a storm, we're doing pretty good. Little hummingbird there, guys. So these are called stick seeds. They're like a fake forget-me-nots. It's pretty. We're getting there. This hike is very, very steep. Over 3.5 miles, gains around 2,800 feet, up to an elevation around 8,900 feet. So just take it slow and don't worry about the trail runners that are blazing by you. These switchbacks go up and then you see the peak up there. It's just over that ridge. So we came from all the way down here. It's very steep. Very, very steep. Way out in the distance there, you can see the Great Salt Lake. So we came all the way up, down in the valley. We're almost there. In case you were wondering what moose tracks look like, not the ice cream. So Mike's out here. This is a great place to use your water filter. I bring it all the time. I'll show you when he gets back. But I filled up my Camelback, and then with the lake water for on the way down because I put too much ice in it. And then as far as hiking snacks, these are amazing, especially if you're feeling a little pukey because of the altitude on the way up here. I actually froze this, and then when I got up here it was still just super cold and delicious. And then you also want to bring, like, these are harvest snaps. The peanut butter was a little too dry. The fat can be a little bit nauseating if you're already feeling nauseous. But after getting this in me, hydrating, I think I'm ready for my apple, and everybody's getting their water filled up and enjoying the views. And then we'll be on our way back down. We might go, if we're feeling up to it, we might go over and see. There's 2 other lakes here besides Lake Blanche, the one we're at. Oh, I think it's Lake Francis and then maybe Lake Lillian. I don't know. 2 other lakes, so you'll have to look up the names. But yeah, such a great day. The weather's going to be about 10 degrees cooler on the way up. You have about 70% shade on the way up, and then 30 to 40% it's exposed to sun. So just keep that in mind if you're coming up here in the summertime. The best time to do this is in late spring or fall. You can go camping up here. You just have to be 200 meters away and bring up all your stuff. 200 meters away from the lakes. and then bring up all your stuff, and there are no camping fires. But otherwise, such a great place, and I still can't believe we saw that moose. That was amazing.
Right to
The moose came back. The baby moose. I guess the parents are over by the other lakes. So we got a baby moose over there, and we got the baby human over here playing baseball with rocks. He got a couple where he could skip it across the water. It was pretty cool.
majestic, you know?
I love animals. Moose are just so funny
They are funny.
with their stilts.
Yep.
So Mike was just telling me that if you get caught, you know, perfect situation, but survival situations where you need sunscreen, these aspen trees.
Aspen tree, and they have like a powder on their bark that there's a good. You can see like the palm of my hand is still like kind of sweaty.
Yeah.
Then there's like
I
a powder
can see the white. Yeah.
around it, and it's on. Yeah.
Wow.
So like that can, there you can see it. That's a good way to see it. You see it on my shirt because my shirt's blue.
Yeah.
It looks all powdery.
Yeah.
But it does. It offers not a lot, but 15 SPF is better than no SPF.
Yeah, especially with the altitude. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any adventures.